Hello, my sunshine, and welcome to a new episode of the Hot Girl Morning Podcast. I'm so excited to have you here. It's almost Christmas and it's almost a new year, and I feel like this is now the perfect time to slow down and take some time to reflect on your year 2023. I actually had a group coaching session that I held on this week, actually, and we did this reflection together. And I thought it was such a beautiful experience. And I really, really wanted to share this also with you because I feel like so often when we try to look back at our year, we only think about the last 3 or 4 months, and we forget about all the amazing things that we have accomplished. We forget about all the learnings that we went through, and I think it's so helpful to really look back and realize how much you have grown as a person in only 1 year and how many learnings came your way and all of that. So you can decide how you want to approach this episode, if you want to do this really with me together, and to do this interactively, or if you just want to take notes so you can later on do this reflection yourself. But let me tell you one thing, this is really, really beautiful to have something like that to look back on and to just have an overview over your year and also then know better where you want to go the next year. Um, so first things first, how do we want to get started with this? I feel like it is often really, really difficult when you're just living your life like that, and from one second to the other, you're supposed to reflect about a whole year because it's so hard to remember all the things that have happened. So, my way to approach this, I actually like to start with a brain dump. So, basically, I put on like a song because I always like to have music in the background, and I take some time to go through old pictures of the year, and I just brain dump everything on paper, all the thoughts that come to my mind of what happened this year. What happened 2023 for you? And you can just literally, brain dumping is not supposed to look pretty. Brain dumping is just about getting your thoughts on paper, and maybe you can think about a vacation that you took. Maybe you have graduated university, or you started a new job, or you ended a relationship where a relationship began for you, or what things happened this year. Did you go to a wedding? Did anyone around you get a baby? Did you get a baby? And you can basically just get an idea of everything that has happened, and you can just go through the pictures. I have quite a lot of pictures on my phone, so it's really helpful to see all the things that have happened, and then it just reminds me of all the also inner things that I have accomplished, like the learnings that I was going through. Because sometimes I feel like when you look at a picture, you are reminded of the phase that you have been in and what you have felt in those moments. So I just like to put everything random on paper, so I just have a better understanding of all the things that happened this year. So you can just pause right here and do that yourself, or take some time afterwards and ask yourself what happened 2023 for me, and just brain dump everything. Once you're done with that, we can start with the reflection itself. I have a couple of prompts for you that I think are really, really helpful to have a great overview over your year. So let me just take a look at my notes myself. I Something that I really like to start with in my yearly reflection is to reflect about my favorite moments of the year. And I set myself the intention to find what were my three favorite moments this year. And it's very interesting because for me, very intuitively, it's just like moments arise. I can just think back to this moment. For example, this year around March and April, I was for 1 month in Spain with a group of friends, and I remember this was one of our last evenings, and we always did a pizza Friday. So on Friday we made pizza and we went to the beach, and ate it there. And that was the most beautiful sunset. And we were putting on a song and dancing around to this amazing song and just enjoying the presence of each other. And this was a moment that immediately came to my mind when I thought about that question. So you can also ask yourself, okay, what were your three favorite moments this year? In all honesty, when I had to write down my three favorite memories, it wasn't only three. I had to write down, I think, five. And the thing is, I always have also pictures on my phone, so I can literally tell you the dates when I have been doing those things. And there were just a lot of special moments, and it was so beautiful for me to write them down. So yeah, that is your first prompt. The next one would be, this is what I have achieved. So you can just write a list of things that you have achieved this year. And I want you to be creative in that sense. What you have achieved doesn't mean necessarily you have hit a certain number, you have made a certain amount of money. This can also be something that, for example, I went through burnout and I healed through it. And this is something that I have achieved. I have I have learned from situations and then changed my behavior. This is something that I have achieved. So you can think, you don't have to think about like what other people would say, yes, this is an achievement, but for you, what have you achieved this year? I was opening up to new connections, to make new friends, and then I met new people. And there were so many things that I have realized, and it's so interesting when you just start writing and you kind of can't stop. And something that I wrote down what I have achieved, that I followed my heart. Even though when times were tough, I still followed what my heart was telling me to do. There were so many beautiful things in there, also career wise, but so many things were just for my inner growth. So, yeah, you can take your time to write down about the things that you have achieved. And afterwards, I want you to write down about the things that challenged you the most. So write down about the things that challenge you the most. It was also really interesting because, yes, I have achieved so much, but there were things that were really, really challenging to me. Um, and it was also good to see that again on paper, to see where are still the areas where I have to work on myself. Where are the areas where just there's some behavior that I have or some blockages that I need to work on. And it's just so helpful to also be very honest with yourself and see, okay, maybe here I could have acted differently. This is where I could have done something better now that I know more about it. But I think it's not reflecting about the year is not only thinking about all the amazing things, it's also about being honest with yourself and realizing, okay, maybe I could have done something better. And that is completely okay because something that I always like to repeat here is you did the best you could with the knowledge that you had at this time. Um, and I think that is why it is also so interesting to look back at the year and realize how far you have grown, because so often we just forget and we don't see all the beautiful things that have happened. So after you have written down everything that has challenged you the most, I want you to write down the things that you have learned. So what are the things that you have learned this year? Um, the first thing that I wrote down on my paper was listening to my energy and following my heart. Because for me, this first half year or the first couple of months of the year um, were had burnout was a big part of that. Let's just say that, or the recovery of burnout. Um, and I realized more and more that I was just before, or maybe still, I still am at some point trying to do the things that people expect of me. And I feel like I was so trapped in this, I need to make things work, and those people are expecting this from me. And I don't know, that I was trying to follow someone else's path instead of listening to my heart and knowing that the way I work is best when I also take breaks. I feel like I had always this blockage in me where I thought that I'm not disciplined, that I'm not like I'm not a person who brings things to an end. And I feel like I was just always trying to prove to others or that I am hardworking and that I do all the things. But in the proving and not listening to my energy and knowing that I need to take a break and I need to pause, I was running myself into burnout. And that was such an important learning for me to have, that I know best. I know best. I need to follow my own energy. And yeah, so you can just write down what were some learnings that you had this year. And after you have done that, the next prompt that I have for you is to write down things that you are proud of that you did this year or that happened this year. Um, I think, I don't know, it always puts a smile on my face to think about those things that I'm proud of, because even though times were hard for some time and not everything was easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh my god, I love that saying. I'm sorry. I can be so proud of myself for the woman that I have become, and I think I'm now also even a way better coach because of all the things that I went through. And I think, yeah, this taught me so much, and I want to use all of that, of what this year has taught me, to help people even more. And yeah, I'm just proud of my, I don't know, I just listen to my heart and I feel like I'm finding my path and things are starting to work out, and I'm proud of myself for not giving up, because there were so many situations where I could have given up and probably a lot of people would have given up, but I didn't. And I'm very proud of myself for doing that. The next prompt that I have for you is that I want you to think about what are the things that you're grateful for this year. What are the things that you're grateful for this year? And the next question is, what people are you grateful for? So you can kind of make this one or two separate prompts, whatever you prefer. Um, it's I'm honestly, I'm so grateful for nature. This is something that is so healing. I'm so grateful that the universe is just presenting me with new possibilities. I'm grateful I'm very, very grateful for all the opportunities I had to coach and for this podcast and how it has grown, and the amount of messages that I got from you, that where you said that you really enjoy this podcast. Like, this is, I feel like this is the part of my business that I love so dearly, like doing those podcast episodes, because in some way it feels like I'm talking to Greta from the past, and the fact that other people can benefit from this, or I can inspire other people, is all I want, and this means the world to me, and this is what I'm so grateful for. And when I was thinking about the people that I'm grateful for, it was so interesting how, like, all the names in my mind were just like, it became very clear. I don't know what I would have done without those amazing people this year. And something that I want you to remind yourself also, when you think about people that you are grateful for, you can also write down your name, because you can be grateful for yourself for pushing through and for listening to your own heart and doing the things how you want to do them. Yeah. And now I have, okay, two more prompts. The next one is, what are three words you would use to describe your 2023? As I said before, like, I'm a very intuitive person, and when I was thinking of that, it was just like the words were just there in my mind. And I think for me, this year was very intense, intense in good ways, but also in hard ways. It was, I don't know. I would have to take a look again at what my three words were, but the first thing that came to my mind was intense. I feel like a lot of healing has happened. Um, and I don't know. I'm starting to feel more lightness in my life. I'm starting, I don't know. I think this is a year that I will look back on for years and years to come, to be like, okay, this was a very transformational year for me that changed a lot of things. And now the last prompt, I want you to give yourself advice for the next year based on everything that you have reflected on. What is some advice that you would give yourself now for the next year? I think that is always also something so beautiful to do. Yeah, I think that's already it. So, just to recap a little bit, in the beginning, we did a brain dump about everything that happened in our year 2023, and then we started with a reflection. We asked ourselves what our favorite memories of the year were. We asked ourselves what we have achieved, what challenged us most, what we have learned, what we're proud of, what we're grateful for, who we're grateful for. We thought about three words that describe our year, and we thought about an advice that we would give ourselves now for the next year. Um, I hope you take your time to do this reflection as well on your own. I love to put on like a cozy music, maybe light some candles, and really enjoy this process and enjoy looking back at it and um, enjoy these times now to then maybe get some inspiration for your next year so you can really create a feeling where you just, I don't know, where you feel pride, where you feel gratitude, and where you can truly, truly enjoy the next year, because often we're so focused on our goals and dreams that we forget to enjoy the path towards it. And I think that is actually what it is all about. Yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you very, very soon. I have amazing news for you, so you can be very excited for that. And yeah, bye.